Sorted bits of shell, patterns and possible.
That's almost like a central road going through the middle, and it connects, as you say, with that kind of moaty sort of ditched area over there. Now, the final thing to point out here is, yeah, this is our medieval settlement, but the question is, where did the lord of the manor, the baron, the big chief, the Norman knight? What we need to do is walk over to the tree line over there and have a look. Yes, well, the trench that I've been working in, I think we've got a wattle and daub. In fact, I'm quite certain we have a wattle and daub structure. And the kind of rubbly sort of spread of stone that we have there, I'm starting to think it's like a partitional wall or a slightly larger rubbly wall on the outside. The other big trench though, with the wall that dies in, as you'll hear David and Elaine over here say, it's a castle. So when you get up to the trench and you see Di,
I said that
just go,
actually.
I know what that is, it's a castle.
Yeah.
See what Di has to say, it'll be really good.
King Di.
King Di.
King Di in his castle.
King Di the third. Maybe old King Di the second.
Yeah, brilliant. So when we get up there, ask him if he's got a castle there or not. It'll really, ask Di, have you got a castle? It'll really please him.
Got any commentary, Di, about what you've done so far? Or overnight? No?
It's a castle.
It's a castle. it's a castle.
Why I'm king of the throne. Not king of the millennium. King of the castle, I was like 10 years.
Don't like the castle idea then, do I?
It's...
I gave you one of my books.
Oh, did you? Last time yes, I did. I felt some vibes come my way.
Some negative vibes.
Oh, hey, cool. Right then.
That about the castle then. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's how it happened, guys.
Oh yeah, I think a lot of women. A lot of practice. Ooh, get on there.
No, I thought you knew that.
I think.
I found some stuff that's actually light pot, and it's very. I think that is actually.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the no, it's the type of stone that's sandstone.
No, I think we're in. I think we got some
there,
of them,
yeah.
Mark. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. So go careful around that area. See if we can see.
I told you I might get a bit.
Yeah.
Another bit, because you already found some, haven't you?
Yeah, that was. We found the orange stuff, but none of that black stuff.
Ah. The black stuff is what I kept digging up over there. I think you get into the bottom layer there, aren't you?
We come this way, perhaps. Yes, another possible. Difficult to say. Another possibility. Lots of interesting novels on the outside.
You've just come across a really good find. Finds? Oh, yeah. Lovely. Very good. Right. This piece of stone could be an insert of wood, so that for the doorway at the end of a wall. Here, these bits of stone just look like a platform for wood to go onto, a wooden platform. So all these pieces are stone, all these pieces of stone are there to support a big platform of wood. Hang on. So what did Helen give you in your birthday card? Was it on the
Some stub marsh cow pat and yes, and some of the mud off her welly boots.
That's brilliant.
Sellotape on.
Sellotape to your birthday card, 50th
Got a
birthday.
bit of our dig site.
Oh, lovely. Part of our dig site on in your card. Lovely.
Count what surprise they'll see me eating again.
Oh,
I'm not
don't worry about that
eating.
at all. I'm just going to
It was
see.
it's bad like non-stop eat, but I haven't actually had breakfast yet, so
Oh, you're alright, you don't non-stop eat. I've never seen you non-stop eating.
don't tell what.
This looks like a nice bit of house with a bit of flooring there.
Oh yeah, this is charcoal good.
Going to get the fines. To wash the fines.
The context of this project and where it's come from, and it's got actually two distinct threads to it. So I mentioned up on the road that the principal partners were Herefordshire Council, the Archaeology Service, who I work for, the National Trust on whose land that we work in, but also the mental health charity Herefordshire Mind, and Jenny McMillan there works for or is managing the project on behalf of Herefordshire Mind. The name Studmarsh is another Anglo-Saxon name. In fact, in its earliest forms that we tracked, it's not so much Studmarsh as Stud with a B and Mesh, so it's Stud Mesh. And both parts of that place name are interesting, because the Stud bit actually derives from something which is pretty much as it sounds, and what it means is that when the Anglo-Saxons came here, perhaps in the 7th century, what they found was an area that had been recently cleared of trees, and the Stub refers literally to the stumps or the stubs of the trees. And the marsh or mesh bit is also interesting. I mean, one potential derivation, as those of us who were out yesterday when it was raining can testify to, is that it is quite marshy and wet in the bottom, so it could just be that. But I think the more interesting derivation is actually that the mesh bit could be the same origin or word as we've got today in things like the marches, or indeed in the name of the ancient Anglo-Saxon kingdom of Mercia, both of which refer to boundary or edge. So literally this place named Studmarsh could mean something like boundary or edge of the area that used to be woodland, to give it a kind of convoluted term. And again, you might ask, well, edge of what? So what are we on the edge of here? Well, we've already a parish boundary. We're on the edge of the common up there, which and the present boundary of the common may well have extended further in the past, and this area has been taken into this past perspective. Was something a bit like what's in the enclosure up there, probably a relatively late in our terms building, by which I mean 16th, 17th or 18th century, what we would call post-medieval building, and potentially one of these farmsteads, fitting within that narrative of perhaps there was only ever a dispersed pattern of settlement in this area. So what we actually got was a very pleasant surprise, and I have to say one for the archaeologists really in this whole debate about is there such a thing as a deserted medieval village. The principal and most obvious thing that you can see in this trench is this really very big wall, and you can see it's about 1 metre or 3 feet wide. It's very well built. It's built of very big stones with a hearting or an infill of smaller stone. And when we actually opened the trench here, and I'll explain why it's missing in this area now, it extended in this direction, though beyond the grate there, it was rather less well built. What we also found when we opened the trench, what we've done here is dig right down to the bedrock beneath all the archaeology, so we were clear that we discovered everything that we can in this trench. But when we originally opened this trench, there was an awful lot of collapsed stone material lying over here. In fact, this section of the wall had almost collapsed in a piece and fallen down and buried this area here. So we've got ourselves a very nice big wall here, and this is a big wall. It's bigger than we were expecting to find, and you know, without stating the bleeding obvious, a big wall must mean a big building. You don't build a big foundation like this to put a relatively small building on top of it. Most likely it's actually a stone building as well, which is very significant in the past, because if you think of big stone buildings, they are only associated with important structures. So think churches, think manor houses, those sorts of buildings. The big high status house at one end and the common people's buildings at this end. And I would contend, you know, coming back to our discussion, the sort of debate between the archaeology and the history, that we have got something that's deserted, because there seems to be nothing going on here after the 14th century in either of our trenches. It is medieval, because we've got nothing less than late in the 14th century, and it is a village, because we've got different types of buildings and strong evidence now, I think, for a series of buildings of different kinds in this area, which pretty much conforms to what we were expecting a village looks like. So, you know, that's kind of one for the archaeologists, although our historian, Dr. Lack, I'm sure, will be more than ready with a kind of counter-attack, as it were, from her evidence when she gets back. I think we're expecting her later today, which I'm actually quite looking forward to, but knowing Kate, she won't take it lying down, as it were, and she will point out to me all the fallacies in the argument which I just presented.